I definitely found it strange being raised by English people in America. Like, immigrant parents raise you with sort of weird traditions, but the more I travel the country and talk to people, the more I realize it wasn't that my parents were immigrants. It's just parents. Parents just give you fill your head with weird shit, and then you become a grown-up, and then you're out there like, yeah, we used to do this, and people are like, what? And you're like, yeah, my house has like a tradition. And they're like, that's like borderline abuse. You're like, it's not abuse, it's tradition. It's a tradition. This one guy, I was talking to him, and he was like, his family didn't celebrate any holidays, except for one that they celebrated twice a year. And you, like me, are probably like, what holidays twice a year? Well, you're not gonna figure it out. Because it in no way is a holiday. His family went big for daylight savings. Big day for them. They spent food out, they had drinks, people over, revelry. It was an event. He was at school day of, like, y'all excited? It's Daylight's Eve. Spring ahead, my favorite of the two, bitches. I don't even know how that works. You gotta stay up till 2 a.m., you're having a good time, and then at 2, you have it again, I guess? I'm not sure. Or then it's 4 a.m. and you feel like you just did blow with your family. You're like, what are we doing? This is weird, everybody. I had a woman at my show, she told me about how her and her sisters would always get their hair cut from their grandma all through their youth, which I thought was pretty sweet. It was like a family tradition. Then the grandmother passed away, and they were cleaning out her place, and they discovered that she'd kept all that hair, all of their childhood hair, in a set of drawers she hid in the closet, or as I call it, the hairdresser. I love that one, though. That's the best. That's the best. Dying with that leave behind. You just have you're like, Grandma, why? She's like, bye-bye, bye. You're like, why were you doing it? She's like, you might not figure it out, ta-ta. She's like, what was it they had? Maybe I was putting it in pillows. You'll never know. I'm gone, I'm vapor. But my favorite one was I was at a show and I was like, anyone got any weird traditions? And this guy goes, I got one, birthday chicken. I was like, sir, you talk until you're done. Get him a microphone. What did you just say in a room of people? Birthday chicken? I was like, what is birthday chicken? And birthday chicken, it turns out, was in his family, they invented like a birthday Santa. The birthday chicken. Sort of this mythical, generous fowl whom he believed to be real. So every year on his birthday, he'd get gifts from his friends and family, but then he'd get one extra gift from the birthday chicken. He thought it was totally normal, right? Then he gets a little bit older, goes through the reveal that we all went through. Granted, his was a little different than ours. There was an addition. It was like, there's no tooth fairy, there's no Santa, there's no birthday chicken. He's like, I'm gonna need a minute. Santa I saw coming, but birthday chicken? Who is eating all the feed we put in the living room? Dad? Oh my God. Then he gets a little bit older, he goes to high school, gets his license, goes to prom, goes to college. First semester, freshman year at college, in his dorm, it's his roommate's birthday. And he's like, his parents live far away. They might not have time to get him a birthday chicken gift. I'll do it. Because what I failed to tell you is what they failed to tell him. That they were the only people that did it. See, he knew it was bullshit. He just didn't know that it was only his family's bullshit and that they'd invented the bullshit. That part never got revealed. So he's just handing this seeming stranger a gift with a card, and this dude just opens it and he's like, love birthday chicken. And that's you. Thank you, birthday chicken. I love my sweater. Anyone have anything like that you can think of, like little child? Granted, birthday chicken sets a high bar, obviously. Yeah, what do you got?
My parents sent me a letter from Santa saying he wasn't going to come visit anymore.
What? Fucking amazing. Oh, my Lord. Dear Bradley, I hope this letter finds you well. It won't soon. You're still a nice boy, but I'm done with you. What? What did the letter say?
It was just like, it's time for us to part.
So your parents were like, first of all, I'm 90% one of your parents is a lawyer. They're like, legally, if we get this notarized, we're in the clear. He cannot sue us in the future. So then you have the illusion that Santa's real, but he's just done with you specifically, which is almost worse. Because kids are like, what did Santa get you? And you're like, Santa and I aren't doing that anymore. I've got a lead on a birthday chicken, which is actually... That's great. It's just a lot of kids, and you're not one of my favorites. Santa sent me a restraining order. Yeah, look, you were being an asshole to him. He said no more. Oh, man, now I want to have kids just to do that. That's like, I'm gonna burn my rubbers to be like, I'm gonna fuck with this kid. Be like, here's mine. This is my family tradition. My family, when I was growing up, I'd go to England, they would make us share bath water. Yeah. That was like, I was raised to believe that was totally normal to share bath water with relatives. I can't explain it, you know? A lot of people won't take baths because they're like, ooh, gross, that's your own filth, right? My own filth to me as a child would have been a dream. A dream. I'd look at a bath of my own filth the way a gruel-filled orphan would look through a rich person's foggy window at a Christmas goose. Just like, me own filth? Gosh, someday, maybe. Imagine. Me own filth, you know. It's crazy. It would be like my aunts, my female cousins, they'd all share one bath, then they'd drain it, they'd do the great refilling, and then it was man time. And let me point out, this is PMS, pre-manscaping, a much bushier era, okay? And it would be like 9, 10 dudes I'd be following, grown-ass men. I was a child. But I didn't think it was weird. It was the prison I was born into. But by the time it got to me, it didn't even look like bathwater anymore. It just looked like ramen at that point. It was just like, ugh. It was the consistency of like cold sake by the time it got to me, you know what I mean? And then I just had to get in. I just had to put myself into this human soup, this dude stew, this minestrone, this guy spaccio. I'd go in there, a 7-year-old nubile boy, take a skunk dunk and come out of there covered in so many hairs of various lengths and curls I'd look like a Grecian man at a nude beach, just like, let's do this, you know? Bonkers. My uncle come over, he'd take the hair off me, give it to grandma, obviously. It was for her. It was, herring is caring. Herring is caring. They did everything earlier in England. Like, they corrupted as youths much earlier in England. You'd see like an 8-year-old smoking, you'd be like, that's crazy. I'd be like, got a problem, copper? You'd be like, I'm 9, so you need to pump the brakes over there, first of all. Sex was earlier. I remember I was 12 years old and my friend was like, mate, you still a virgin? I was like, yeah, I'm still a virgin. What are you I'm 12 years old. He was like, don't worry, it'll happen. I was like, I don't want it to happen, okay? I am a little boy, all right? This is not chest hair. These are my uncle's pubes. I took a bath earlier. I'm a kid, bro. Weed was earlier too. Weed, yeah, 12, 13 was when we started smoking weed there. The way we smoked weed there was different than how we smoked weed here, though. The way I learned to get high in England was through what they call rising blowbacks. Now, I know it sounds weird, but it's just when your buddy sucks your dick in a hot air balloon. That's all it is. It says, guys, it's European. It's like pastries for breakfast. It's their way. It is their way. No, what it is someone takes a joint, right? Someone takes a couple hits off the joint, puts the lid end in their mouth, then blows through the back. Then you suck that in. Then someone picks you up by your sternum till your feet are off the ground, lowering your oxygen levels. And by the time your feet hit the ground again, you are real high, real high. So imagine the first time in the States when someone wanted to smoke with me. You know, like, you want to get baked? I was like, well, yeah, but we're going to need to get a few more fellas over here, Chad. I mean, we'll hurt our backs. So one of the first times I got high, it's probably like first 3 times I got high, it was late at night, everything's closed, and we're hanging out in front of the store. And I'm just laughing my ass off. We're having a good little time, you know, and I'm just laughing. I tap the store window. Nothing aggressive, just give it a little tap. And my friend Richard goes, "Don't, Gareth, you limagwaff." And I go, "Don't call me a limagwaff." And everybody laughed. But they didn't laugh when he said it. They laughed when I said it. And I wanted to know what was going on, but I couldn't ask because I was high. So I was just like, "Ha, yeah, you don't call me a limagwaff." What is it? Never mind. But I wish I'd asked, because it became like a nickname. People started calling me Limagwaff. Yeah, for years. People, you know, I'd get into town, people would be like, "Hey, Limagwaff's here." I'd be like, "You're damn right I am. That's me. I'm him." They'd be like, "You all right, Limagwaff?" I'd be like, "Doing good." Little confused still, but good. Limagwaff's good. Years went on, till one night I was at a party. And my cousin introduces me to a guy who was there that night. And he goes, "No, I remember you, you're Limagwaff." I was like, "Yeah." So then I waited until I had a moment, and I cornered him. I had to know. And I go, "Hey, why was that so funny?" He goes, what funny, Limagwaff?" I said, "Why was it so funny when I said, 'Don't call me a Limagwaff'?" He said, "Well, because you hit the shop window, and Richard said, 'Don't, Gareth, the alarm will go off.' And... And you said, 'Don't call me a limagwaff.'" I was like, well, that is funny. Now that I hear it back, that's pretty good, honestly. That's pretty good weed, too. Well, good to catch up. Hope you're well. Limagwaff out. I'll see ya. Thank you. Together? Yeah. How'd you meet? Tinder, nice. How long you been together?
4 years.
4, fucking A, that's pretty good. Yeah. About half the room cares. She's excited. Anyone got a weird way of met? Who's a couple who's got a weird way? What do you got back there? Go ahead.
We met at a festival in Eastern Oregon, like a small, less than 2,000 people festival, serving bar at Clown Night with clown noses on.
You met at Clown Night? Yeah, okay, relax. Quit acting like I'm the crazy one. Like, yeah, we said that. Clown Night, dumbass. We met at Clown Night. And then you have noses on at Clown Night? Yeah. Yeah, duh. What do you think makes it Clown Night, stupid man? Can you imagine walking into a clown bar? I don't know if there's I would make a U-turn so fast. I'd be like, "We need to get the fuck out of here." They'd be like, "Trivia night?" Worse, run. Start that car. People loved you? Yeah, well, lots of people think that, and they're wrong. That happens all the time. People loved us. We were loud. How long ago was that?
3 years.
No, sir, I'm far, but I'm not like in another city. A trained actor. 3 years! 3 years next March! You are a clown? You're still a clown? Huh? You got it on now?
It took a second. I had to get the bar through it. I'm sorry.
You had to get the bar through it? Is it like a barbell for your nose? Is this like a Saw movie?
Is this a show? Who has what?
Oh, my lord. I mean, this is like feeding an animal that won't leave you alone. This is like, where you're like, "All right, go. Get the fuck out of here. I put out milk one night. I'm not your daddy. I have a cat. I can't have more. We can't have more than one clown in this room, and I'm the clown." I mean, sir, I almost want you to keep going so I can actually shout at one of my shows, "Get that clown the fuck out of here!"